Good morning to you all, sports fans, and this is not really highlights of some sports. There's something I want to talk about, and it's kind of like important in a way. And it's off of this, it's an article I read last night off of this issue of Business Week magazine. I know it's on Facebook, but I didn't come here to talk about Facebook. It's about actually college sports. It's about an article having to do with the University of North Carolina. You know, North Carolina Tar Heels, college basketball. And it talks about how some schools have set up, how these students are set up taking fake courses or Mickey Mouse courses just to get their grades up so they can play sports like basketball. And it has to do with academics and sports. Now, I know that I shouldn't talk about this, but I feel it's very important because they did an article about this in Time magazine. It's about how these college athletes get used up and exploited, making money for these schools, so they can they just play and make money for the schools and the television networks because they cover most of these college sports, especially men's basketball. And I'm thinking about how college students, how come they're not able to like do academics while they play sports? And it has to do with this, the courses. Like now, I know that these college basketball players, they want to get good. They want to go and play in the NBA, or even most cases the NFL, and maybe Major League Baseball. But baseball's, I don't see many college kids wanting to play baseball, professional baseball, but mostly basketball and football. And I think it's sad that most college student athletes can't read or not doing well in school because they got to think about the fact that the average NFL or even the average NFL or the NBA careers don't last very long, even when they make it to these pro leagues. So they have to get something to fall back on. And most times they don't have anything to fall back on because they couldn't master the schoolwork in the universities. Oh, sure, they get good grades, but they don't take the meaty subjects like English, literature, or mathematics, or even science like biology, chemistry, and physics. They end up taking all these limbo courses so they can keep their grades up and to continue to play sports. I mean, that's the thing, though. They end up not being able to read or even write their names. And of course, you got to think about these plays as well in the NFL. They got to learn how to read the defenses and the plays. And most of them can't do that. They can't read. And sometimes these athletes get scholarships, but when they do the coursework, they end up reading at about a third, fourth grade level. And that's what this article I read is about. I read about, and it's on, it's in the politics policy section, right here, if you ask me, about North Carolina, about these people setting up courses, certain fake courses, so for the students, so they can take it and get passing grades. And that's a problem as well with most colleges in the U.S. They give passing grades to these students without letting them actually learn how to read and write, or even do mathematical formulas, which will benefit them later in life. Because Because what will they do when their playing careers are over? I mean, sometimes NFL and NBA careers only last about 3, 4 years. They don't last very long. So they got to think about what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. And they don't have an education. They got no skills, job skills, let alone any sort of faculty skills that they can use, you know, to get even land a career or even get a job where they can basically support themselves beyond sports, professional sports. That's kind of sad. I read something about this in Time magazine, where college basketball players are exploited and playing for the schools so that they can rake in the money for their for the schools and these television networks, which of course televise these games. I mean, they don't really care about the athletes, whether they flunk in school or whether they are not able to read and write, or let alone do any mathematics. It's a problem, growing problem in most American schools, American universities. I don't know about the situation here in Canada, but it seems that here we have a lot tougher academic requirements than in American schools. It's pretty sad what they're doing that, and crooked as well. But then again, this method of stuff is not about to end, since most of these, especially most of these kids who live in the inner cities, like black kids, women and men, but mostly men, since they live in poverty and they want to make money for their they need to make money for their families and to basically support their families, be the next Michael Jordan or LeBron James. But most times, often it doesn't happen. Even LeBron James, as I've read today, he's even struggling on the court. The Miami Heat dropped their game today to this Utah Jazz. But LeBron James has done well regarding stuff outside the court. And that's the thing. You got to, when you start your NBA career, you got to have a strong business-like mindset. Think about playing in the NBA as a business and put some money aside and set up commerce and businesses. That's what a lot of these pro athletes have to do, because at some point their playing careers will end, and sometimes doesn't always last long as Michael Jordan's or even Magic Johnson's career. And without that college degree, or even for that matter, an education, these student athletes, or trying to make it into the pros, they'll have a very tough time without the strong academic background. And that's what this article was about in North Carolina. And the schools have to change this too, as well, and making requirements, certain admission requirements for these student athletes to get certain grades in order to get in to their campuses. Because I think they're just getting in without a strong academic background, and they're just getting scholarships to play these sports so they can make money for these college camp, for these universities. And it's pretty sad. I mean, it's a disservice to not only the school, but it's a disservice to the professors who spend so much time trying to teach the students But most times, most professors never teach students. They often give lectures. They don't even help the kids to even, they don't even care whether they can read and write. They just give lectures and expecting them to learn it. And it's pretty sad. That has to change too with the professors and also the students as well, student athletes as well. Or take some evaluation exams on determining whether or not they're going to be ready for the academics rigors of college. Because NFL careers and NBA careers don't last forever. And they're going to have to think about what they will do in the future. Make some future plans. I thought I'd get that off my chest. That's all.